Hi, and welcome to another Dreamcatcher reaction, and finally, it's because time. So, as you might have seen in the title, this is just not a regular reaction, it's also a bit of an analysis, because this is not my first time listening to the song. I know, insane. It's been so long that it's been released that my mom listens to Because on her speakers. And I really wanted to see Namra doing his cover. If you don't know him, he does Dreamcatcher covers and he also reacts to Dreamcatcher. Pretty cool. So I'll go a little bit more in depth on this one, hopefully. Because even though I tried not to listen to this many times, the world around me is listening to it, so it just took too long to jump in the boat. So let's start in 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, the subtitles are on. This shot is very cool. It's all a single shot. Man, wait, before it goes into the next part, even though SuA always get like this role of being a bridge, just like something in between, she nailed it this time. Like, this is one of her best transition pieces. I'll even go back a little bit to see it again. I think Because is their heaviest song so far. Even heavier than their Japanese releases, but I'm gonna talk a little bit more about this later. Let's go. Yeah, she nails that. I don't know. Doesn't sound as heavy, but it is, believe me. And this is the first. Yeah, this is the first example. And before Dami rips our eyes all over their sockets. Whenever this part hits, I'm like, whenever I see someone that enjoys metal talking about Dreamcatcher, they're always like, oh, imagine if they had like screaming in their vocals. It would have been crazy. However, they just did it. And if you're not used to this kind of stuff, that's fine. I'm not gonna do any examples. When Shion and Handong go for this part, they do what I call, which is not the real name of the thing, I call instrumentation, is when you kind of lose control of the melody and drives through intensity. That's exactly what a scream is. As you can see, the deliver is very dun 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 dun. There's no change in the melody. Even though like she has distortion in her voice, like with effects, it's still the same distortion you're looking when you're screaming. Just like her, she's also giving this dun 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 dun, no, almost no melody, a lot of distortion. This is basically screaming, and I think this is the furthest we will go. Honestly, if you have this is already screaming, right? You don't need the crazy the crazy techniques. Yeah, and this beat specifically fits the song very well. Even though it's a bit weird at the beginning, it grows on you. And then goes from SuA to Dami now. Dami has grown so much, man. It's amazing. She's great. And again, with the screaming. Oh yeah, this is my favorite part of the song. Ooh, before we get to SuA and her re-debut as kind of a rapper, I want to talk about this. This part in particular caught my attention because when she goes for this, this is almost like Middle Eastern. This is actually very Middle Eastern. And recently I've been listening to a lot of Middle Eastern bands, and they always have this. I wish I knew more about music, right? So I could give any concrete thing for you. Sadly, I don't. And even for stuff that's not like 100% based on Middle Eastern music, like for example, System of a Down, they also use this kind of sound. Not much though. And upon further inspection, I found out that even the basic riff of this song sounds a lot like Middle Eastern stuff. And I think playing it on the guitar, the acoustic guitar, makes it easier to notice. But enough of that, let's go back to this part. She kills it. Yeah, and then it ends, just like it began. The same motif. Man, I absolutely love Because. I think it's one of their best songs so far. Maybe it's my favorite. It's a very contested place to be my favorite Dreamcatcher song because I love all of them. But this one, man, they outdid themselves. It's amazing. And as I said, like, even though they were not going for heavier guitars throughout all the song, it's not like a blast beat. All the elements come from like heavier places. Is this a thing? Heavier place? I don't know. So yeah, now my next Dreamcatcher reaction will be for the Dreamcatcher Mind. Unfortunately, only 10 EPs, but hey, at least they give us something, and it looks very good. I can't wait to react to those. So, until next time.